Yo, I forgot about that part. Like, yeah. My name is VeRs, and this is DJ IV, and this is behind the scenes of Sweet 16.
Yo, IV, you ready? Yeah.
Grow up, you learn to accept the hold on.
Sweet 16 is based off a blaxploitation film called Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song. And it's a film by Mario Van Peebles. And so we took a lot of clips and excerpts from the film and put that in the background alongside the beat. So it's kind of telling the story, the same kind of story that the movie was telling you. Basically, it all stemmed from trying to figure out what the fans want. And, you know, for me, the audience that I have, they really are used to hearing some soulful stuff. So a lot of people were getting in my ear and saying, you know, we got to bring it back to the essence, to hear something that we grew up listening to, something that brings us back to that real hip-hop sound.
It was really just like a collaboration, you know. Verse shot me some ad libs, some little excerpts he wanted to you know, to cut and scratch, to, you know, to have flow into the project. So I basically, you know, did cuts off the joint, did a couple takes, you know, and we just pieced it together, you know, we arranged it. What I thought that was really dope that Verse pulled off in this project was using Jay-Z as Iceberg Slim. You know, throughout the project, you know, we sample him saying sweet, you know, and he says it in this Iceberg Slim. You know, if those that don't know, Jay-Z's, one of his nicknames is Iceberg Slim, like, you know, pimp Iceberg Slim. So we use that, and it shows up throughout the project, and I thought that was dope.
With those sounds, we basically had a pool of sounds. Like he had said, he had started with some ad-libs. So we started out with ad-libs from basically my old tracks and the Senate's old tracks. Right. And so it kind of gave me an idea of the kind of words I wanted, you know, on each different track. And so we just kind of pooled all the different segments together. So we had a whole pool of stuff to cut. And each different song had different elements that we wanted to touch on. For instance, like we were saying, the hashtag tracks, one of them is Light Trees. So that one was all about, you know, lighting trees. So we had cuts from Redman and Method Man, you know, everything that made sense to be on that. So then it's got each track has a theme, so it's kind of a story in each different track, but the whole flow of the project also feels like a story. When I was making this project, the first thing I thought of was I wanted only sample songs that made me, you know, feel some kind of emotion. Like I really wanted it to be something that brought me to tears. So each song on Sweet 16, the original song, was enough to bring that kind of emotion out. So it really was like an emotional thing for me to find these songs first and foremost, and then flipping them, I wanted to definitely keep that kind of vibe to them, but not just keep it, but like, you know, build onto it. Right. So each of these songs really means something to me personally, and we just started with that kind of energy, and then added on to that energy, and then with IV on it, you got cuts, you got, you know, everything that hip hop is.
Like we said, there's like some old stuff, some retro verse on there, mixed in with some new stuff. The productions, you know, in my opinion, is like leaps and bounds what he used to do, you know, what he used to do.
You know, we had an idea of what people liked from me. You know, I've been making beats for years, but these are really the ones that people can latch on to, and I feel like people that don't know what I've got can latch onto this project as well. So it's just something that we fine-tuned and finally came together with it. But as far as being a part, I was throwing them samples like we spoke on before, so he had a couple of things to cut up on his own. But then really he just came through in 1 week and then banged out the cuts for the majority of the project. So it was crazy. Like I would dump all these sounds on him, I'd leave the crib, come back at the end of the day, and then he'd have something for me to hear. So then by the end of the week, I had like a whole folder full of sounds and just cuts and cuts and cuts, and then like we pieced them all together, and then that's what really made the whole cohesive project.
Right.
can find Sweet 16 on gbbossproductions.com. You can stream it there. Also stream it on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. And make sure you follow @VersGBoss on all social media for fun.